I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is October 7th, Tuesday, 2025. Hope you had a good day. Happy birthday to one of my sisters. And we talked about yesterday. We had three options, and they all had the same thing in common, which was to raid above here and then come back into the range. We did that beautifully, man. First I said this, and then the goal was, when I made the video here, we came down. I said there was some liquidity here. Go watch yesterday's video. We came down deeper, and then we bought up. We took out this high, and then we came back in the range. Now, I talked about this. Obviously, with this, what's it called? This gap here, because we had no price action. I said we weren't done with that yet. I didn't think we were done with that yet, so we would come back in. So the seasonality would be, between the 5th and the 6th, we make a high and then we sell off. Look at the title of this video, is sell off next. I mean, so, anyone online can show you everything, who's doing this day before, right? But we did come here and we're stuck here and we're kind of playing around. So does this become the buy, or is it going to come deeper in here, taking out this guy here? Because the thing is when we come here this deep, it's like, okay, well, do you take out this guy, right? And more of that breakout level and momentum area here. We had that. We talked about the first bounce of the month. This is the first of the month. So the seasonality will sometimes say, okay, we bought up through the 6th, 5th, 6th, or whatever. We sell off, and we sell off, generally speaking, we're going to sell off through the 7th and then the 8th maybe, and then turn back around. So, and then from there, the 4th quarter kind of begins as a push up on the 10th, and, we flow for the quarter, right? So that's what we did, baby. Like, fire. And then as you see here, I made the video here, we dropped down a little bit lower, got into the wick of this, some liquidity, pretty much 50% bodies are respecting. That's key. And then you push up for that next high. And then when we're here, you can see that we have the macro at 9 o'clock. Beautiful candle. Catching the fucking high, baby, and selling down. But you can see blowing right through this easy liquidity. If you look here on the 15-minute, well, you'll see that internal right there. That's what they did in Asia and London. This is signifying that the ranges, that's why the ranges are kind of small. It's hard for me to buy here. Ranges are kind of tight where you expect it to then come back in for liquidity, right? And we did that. So real quick, you see we came in, I measured this little thing here. This last little push swing, 2 to 2.5 here. And then we were kind of coupled in there. So it was kind of like the farthest it was going to go. I'm going to delete that because we made a new high. So yeah, expansion, retracement, expansion. But now this is kind of like that reversal, or you could say consolidation, raid, and then push back. That's your chances of a reversal. I don't mean reversal forever. I'm just saying for it to come back down. And then you have 3 drives. 1, 2, 3. Logical stuff right there. And then I'm measuring this little, this push down swing here, this little last down swing here. You can see here the 3.5 to 4, we're damn near top ticking it right here. I could make this video short or long. I'm going to try to make it short. Look to your left here. See where that -4 is on the 15-minute. We're ticking it. That's how I get this. I sell it from right here. You're like, how the fuck did you sell that from right there? Because of the fact that this candle, look at the overbought right here. You get the high here, and then you get this little divergence, which is a lower high on the divergence, but here in the price action it's higher. You get this bull candle that think they're trying to be all tough. It's 907. So then immediately I'm selling it here, and then you can see the flow. 930 comes in. You obviously want to get into here. There is a 15-minute imbalance right there. And I circled here because there's this liquidity here. This is a breakout area. See, she busts through. Talk about this every day. You have imbalance right there. And then same logic here. And then what's it called? 25% here of the opening range gap. You're in a premium. So plus this logic of liquidity. Speaker time, you can expect that rate up to be here. It's above 2 standard deviation. Obviously, it's above the previous day high, and 2.5 really. But anyways, here, last 2 up candles, you can see we boom 930. So this is the first imbalance right here. You can see that. You can see this, right? So you're not trying to buy here. You're not even wanting the price to keep going. No one's going to be involved. So, but that's the general speaking. But ticket right there, come back again, ticket right here, right, and then we fall short. Now we have structure, lower low, lower high. If you go look at VIX, that was the all-time like deciding factor. Besides of what I've just explained about the sixth, fifth and sixth and whatever. Today's the 7th. Yeah, and it happens to be the 7th. So they made the high on the 7th. But logic is that we've came up to raid and then come lower. But what's it called? The VIX was, while we're making lower lows and lower highs here, you can see VIX doing higher highs and higher lows. I'm not going to pull it up. Go pull it up yourself. But you'll see it very clear as day. Right? So, all right. So you got a little swing here. Lower highs to the left of this high, and just trying to be tough at selling, making it tough for selling, and then you get your order flow. So then we become underneath that inversion there. This one pops up, but eventually comes below it. But that first imbalance as well, right there. See that? You can see this, right? Yeah. So right there, boom, see, blink, bing, 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 right there. See that? That's not coincidence. We're below the 930. We break again. That's another low. You have if a sell by sell days or even a bearish day, you're gonna get this flow. This is as perfect as it gets, right? This obviously is choppy and fucking nasty and ugly. Obviously, very tough. But again, sometimes if you stick with it, general speaking, let the opening range occur. You have the narrative here. Your bias is down, so you break again, imbalance, bodies respect, break down again. You're sealing this whole thing the whole time. I mean, and it's a good size enough range for 177. Let's just say it's 20, 40, 50, 60 odd points, for this to be that size range is generally going to get filled. Yesterday's imbalance of the opening range gap not sealed, we come and do that, coupled with that, that lack of liquidity, literally zero price action inside. That's a void. So coming down to hunt that. That's why they went up again, because selling here was you're trying to get it down into here, and then they pull it up one more time. Well, two more times actually. So that's but the narrative is still there, right? Anyways, and then you have your order flow here. You could pick an entry of where I'm showing you. 50 opening range gap 50. Digging into this one, up candles. I'm not going to draw everything. Again, pop in there, 25% opening range gap, and then boom, fall, free fall, and then let's see here. I'm going to move over, and obviously, where am I going with this? Well, I'm going to take profit, obviously, in this leg here. But when we pop up, you're going to get this possible control of price. We don't know if the price is going to keep staying down, or is it going to make the drives and then pop back up. But because of the situation of me telling you about, going through the 7th, the 7th, 8th, 9th, now we're in that window where we're trying to retrace down, right, for the seasonality, because the general gist is it's supposed to come as low as the low that it made on the 1st, right? So I'm looking at this range here, but that it's really strong, and they could just dangle a little bit and then finally get maybe this guy and then pop back up, right? So I don't know all that specifics, but I understand the logic and framework. So we come in and we're digging into this imbalance right here. Makes a lower low and a lower high. So here, where you're catching this trade, here, you get the drives up. They're doing it high resist on purpose. Some people call this a bear flag, whatever. Point is that now you've made this lower high. So you've already sold once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 5 sells, right? In this case, maybe even the 6th sell, all right? But if you understand what I'm saying, the logic is that this lower high here, even with this momentum candle right here, you're a seller. You know, I even catch this right here after we push up, and then we got these up candles they're using as resistance. I can put a line right there. Boom, I'm entered in the candle just to see the momentum and to know that once the price is already down here, I can automatically shoot for this specifically, and beautiful. So slithers down here, pops back in, comes down, doesn't hit it, pops back in. This is just trying to get those last minute sellers, right? Because that's an easy understanding. You know it's going there. It's like, you generally speaking, you just know it's going there. So I'm looking at this range here. You can see I'm just using the bodies. Well, actually these wicks, but I should have put it right there. I thought I put it on the bodies. It's on the wicks, but it was supposed to be on the bodies. Whatever, not a big deal. We come in, and this accumulation here, you can see it's happening in the 101.5 to the left. I can't fit it all on the screen, but I guess I could. Here, see this? So this logic here, lower low to lower high, and then coming in for the finale at the 2 to 2.5. Not saying it won't go lower. I'm not saying it won't go high. I'm just saying that in this framework, what is also the framework is the average daily range. If you go take a look at what that average daily range is today, go get an indicator for that. It's 270 something points. So if you look at when we're up here and you have the low here, what's the low of today? Well, before the day started at 9:30, the low here was what the fuck was let's just say 120, and then the high here is 275. So let's just say 270. So 270, and 120 is 150 points. If the average daily range is 275 points, let's just say be fair and be 250. So when the price is here and you only have 150 points so far in the day, when we're here, I'm talking about 9:30, do you see that extra 100 points going up, or do you see that extra 100 points coming down? Well, we had that narrative, and if you take a look at what the high is here of the day. So when you're here, is that the low of the day? And is that the high of the day? Which one is it? So most likely this is the high of the day in our narrative. So 270, and then, coming down here, right there, here's 25,000 even. That's 270 right there, right? So it's actually 275 plus, but that's the point. It was right on the money. So we're understanding that flow here. Let's just say you were buying and you're wrong. Well, you have confirmation here that it's selling here. You have order flow. If you're wrong, you go the other way, right? But if you're waiting for the order flow and you see this and you're patient, you can understand that, okay, well, that 10 o'clock candle, this 9 o'clock candle, and then now this 10 o'clock is expanding. You're in that 10 o'clock. Then you can see the 11 o'clock here. Where's 11 o'clock? Right there. This is 11 o'clock right here. Opens, little miniature wick. This whole thing here is the 11 o'clock candle. So that becomes the expansion. You get your little swing. So these 3 candles here, they swing high, right? So second candle, it's a closure inside, and that's good for it being a swing setup. Look at the third candle, it expands. The fourth candle really expands, obviously, and at least you can be catching that fourth candle. It's obviously that we're down here, number one. Number two, you have that liquidity there, and then that gap. I mean, there's nothing else to really say. That's just fire. But and then, as with that narrative here, you can even be involved. I take this sell from here to here, literally right here to right here, beautifully. How? Because of what I just said. We're getting into the 2 to 2.5. We want to get into the algorithmic specific level of lack of price action. And then these are all like little lower highs, right? And then we reach that target. Then here, I take, once we sell it, once I sell this from here to here, I take this buy. Why? Because, well, I know I can keep going through, but I do know that, we're heading into London close. Obviously, we've been in London close here, and then, lunch will most likely, or pre-lunch, will pop back up for what? These guys right here. I sold from here, so when I bought from here, it's very easy that it's going to come up here. Why? Because this is a drop. This is an easy sell. Just to be frank, It's just an easy sell. There's no other way to put it. So that's what they're doing here with this breakout area here. So, but I take the buy here, squeeze out right here, retraces back, come back. If this is a higher low to then make another high, in general speaking, I'm going to want to catch this buy. Why? Well, it came up, retraces back. Okay, I got this inversion here. I could have used this one. It's the same thing, but they're nested. And pretty much body sitting there, but they're tapping on top. And then this saves it. This candle right here, this 1223. 22 comes down hard, 23 pops up and then closes back. Then we use this just for temporary pushing up above what? These highs here. You don't know if it's going to come up here. You don't know if it's going to come to 50%. You don't know if it's going to take out these guys that were selling in this imbalance right here to the breakout level, because you have this breakout level from the Asia and London session, right? So that's kind of like the next target if it decides to go up. But in this case, this is why you're not playing with the day. You're fucking done. You got people trying to buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here. It's like, whoa, bro, no. The day's done. You walk away. But how was I a part of before the day got fucking done here? And look how we just came right back here. I was a part of this buy. So I bought here to here, right? Didn't know if it was going to go up. Took the profit. Cool. Nice 50 points. Now I'm in like a 50-point situation. Okay. Then the price comes back. Here, I buy this again. Where do I take this buy? Right here. Squeeze up. Done. Knocks me out. I don't care about hitting this. Yes, I want to hit this, but doesn't mean I can get there. And guess what? What does it do? It pulls back and then you're just stuck the whole way. So what could the real flow, the reason why I don't mess with it, because if the real flow is going to, and it's probably going to be like that, where I gave you the example of this coming deeper, right? So because when we're here, look at these equal lows. It's very suspect to not take them out of the whole conversation, what we're talking about. And then I can see the flow, like this. So I'm seeing it. That's that leg, right? So I got, I'm part of it here to catch the rest of the leg. Then I'm trying to buy up. I'm not going to draw this internal. I just see this. All right. So now we've pulled back. That's a lower high from that lower high, right? But they got this internal shit to ram it. See how the candles just straight push for it. All right. But then this could be this. I'll make another lower low, right? But it didn't make this low. It didn't make another lower low. So it stopped here. Notice how that it didn't seal the gap. It didn't seal the gap. So there's still price action missing. So you have a high chance of it still going back. Okay, I wasn't a part of the day no more because this is it's over with. I've already stayed long in this lunchtime and it's like done. I got to go eat and chill. And there's people still trading. It's like, dude, why? It's fucking over with. Just chill. You know what I mean? But lower high. And then doesn't make a low. If you sold this, you can see the price action push up hard and then push down hard. You can see that kind of like really happening here. But then, fanning here and then low. Doesn't make a new low. So what do? They came all the way back up. Did not squeeze. Did not take that out. So right now the flow is this. Right? This is the flow. Regardless of what this does. If this pushes up, then okay, then they made a double bottom and it's equal lows, and probably news will take this in this week and then we'll run it, or maybe even Asia and London, and come for that low. That's what I'm assuming. But I don't care, right? Because I'm not involved. We'll see what happens later. But right now, this is the flow I'm seeing. This is still a low. Didn't break that low, but it has all right to come back up here, squeeze out, and then you'd want to see this make a leg down, right? That's the general gist. And we're in that 2 to 2.5, by the way. You can see that there. And then again, we have an old week gap from, again, I don't know if it wants to come this low, y'all, because it could just buy from here. That's why I don't see it. I don't know. I just really don't see it buying from here. That's why I gave this example specifically. It doesn't get any more clear. And if you're asking, well, how did you take that buy if it didn't seal it? Well, because of the fact that you have a lot of people waiting to take profit at that level until it sweeps or goes outside. And it should go and sweep outside, but it's a little too easy. So what they do, high resistance, they push it back up, right? they're getting people to buy in here. And technically, again, the best buys, if it's a bullish week, are at that open, right? So, because that's the high of this gap is the open. The low of this is Friday. I mean, and this is kind of like just intuition, experience. And I took the buy still here to this one, and then I took this one to here. Why? Well, because again, they're waiting to, maybe even wait for these lows here to the left here. Maybe they're waiting for that, but in general cases, they want to see that get filled. They push it back up. I still take it. If I was wrong and it sealed it, okay, I might have took another buy. But if it's still coming lower than here, then it's probably rushing for that. You definitely want to walk away probably then. But hey, this is what it is. So hope this all makes sense. And just super fire. Look at the way it opened right down the minute level. Push through. What dollar helping with pushing up, made a new high here, and we've been talking about that imbalance and that imbalance right there, holding price. We gapped up, we left that. I don't know, it's not favorable, but either way, they push straight up. So dollar's waking up a little bit here. We'll see what they do. And then you had this as also your next confirmation here, which is you had higher highs with Dow here, you had lower highs here with S&P and NAS. Then you had NAS tagged that high, and then we all made lower highs here with S&P and Dow. So right there was also the tipping its hat right here to saying, okay, that's a divergence, that's selling, I grabbed the liquidity, and then you do have your flow. So, again, retracement, this is more of, I guess, kind of like a reversal, but at the time, you're looking at this range, at the least from here to here, and kind of coming back in. This is just general price action reading. But do they want to use this range here? So from this low to, we speakered out. Look at how we're speakering out. Well, so we came back to a mean reversion in this case for this, right? It's kind of sitting here, or lower. So, if you put a trend line from here to here, is it like, okay, well, is that the manipulation and we come back into here, right? Most likely, because we're still here. It's not like we got really big push to show us higher and higher and higher low back up that well, right? The volatility, the movement wasn't really there. 15-minute overbought, coming to an oversold, super slick, banging on the 4-hour for so long. We also did that with the 1 hour. We were in the overbought, bounced off the 50 yesterday in Asia or whatever, and then we came back down. So that was a pretty logical price action. Being bullish, I expect these 3 down candles to hold. If you draw a line, you'll see that this October 3rd digs into it with that imbalance. We expand on Monday, and then Thursday's coming right back into this block here, right? Also tapping that open of these 3 consecutive down candles. Talking about September 23rd, and then that's where we are here. So if this is going to be support, and you expect this candle here, when you jump into this candle, to be a wick and then push up. So again, for it to be support, but we're kind of sitting there. I don't even know if I went over. I think I forgot to go over Dow yesterday and S&P, but yeah, I forgot to do that, I think. So they retraced back, they made a lower high, and then they came back to make a low, but technically it's still a higher low here. So does it push up from there? Are they building liquidity right there? Or is this going to roll over and come in? It's very rangy, very rangy. I can't go into more into this too much, but right now, I mean, I kind of like see it as this range here, and you came back in. So we'll see what they want to do here. I could have put a different fit, but you get what I'm saying. Like, this is pretty deep, but we'll see if they do it. If not, are we trying to roll over for like I said, the 8th and then the 9th and then swing back, right? It should be buying by the 9th, and the 10th should already be like in expansion with an imbalance. Like, that's where you should be, but I'm just talking freely here. A little ugly, and again, I know we're overextended, but I mean, we're supposed to be pushing up for this fourth quarter, by the 10th. So, looks like it's just retracing back. We're in a retracement here, in my opinion. It's not over, but look at Dow. Look how dark. That's what I'll be talking about. That's what I'll be fucking with Dow. But they did a pump first. See that? So pump first and then dump. So in a profile of a bearish day, you'll get one of them is a pump and then the dump, right? And we're still here, but we're kind of pushing with Dow. S&P, they very similar story. They, look at this trend line. I don't think I went over it yesterday. Just getting real tight with higher highs and higher lows, and then boom, sell off to wipe out some of that. Looking for the previous 3-day lows, 2-day lows, an example, but nice pullback. Does this roll over for here for one more drive down? To me, it does make sense, but has all right to buy from here too. So I mean, just not that really clean, but at the same time, it's not that dirty either, but it's just too tight. But right there, but boom, flushing for that, coming back to, in a way, a breakout level for them, almost mean reversion. We'll see what Asia London does. That's the real question, obviously. Look at them, little pump first, miniature, and then came down. Look at the breaking out of this finally. Let me take a look at VIX. That's not really moving anywhere. VIX is fickle when it usually works in a little bit after the beginning of the day. It's well in that sense, but so that this. I don't really see this as like, okay. Again, if you got a break, it's kind of like this. Like you get the higher low top, you squeezed up, reversed, and then lower high, lower low. So it's like same idea, peak, reverse, lower low, lower high. We could pop up like this and then have another drive down. That would make sense to get some of this area here, and then this guy right here on. If you're looking at what's it called? I mean, that's how I would do it. You know what I mean? If I was them. But is this going to be enough to push it all the way up? So don't know. But as you can see, this would be like a sweet spot, in my opinion, to come back. But on the daily, though, if we're really bullish, you really don't want to see coming back into that daily imbalance. Yeah, sure. Can we seal it? Sure. But even if it just wicked in like a little bit lower, because remember, we didn't seal that gap, right? And they could say fuck you, we don't care. We went back in there, so that was fair. But the way the price action is sitting now, I feel like another rollover is expected. But I would have been okay with even keep buying. But I mean, I knew this was going to be funky. Meaning, if, as far as like, generally you get the drives here, 1, 2, 3. On the 15-minute, you can see that drive 1, drive 2, then drive 3. On the 5-minute is pretty clear or cleaner. So drive 1, drive 2, drive 3. And this is how I sell down in here and then buy these right here, right? So adding them up, it's like, still great amount of points and part of the range. But, this is just suspect, because if it was going to be buying, like you should have just like kept going, right? Should have been using this as support, came up here more. Then everybody in AI races, everybody and their mama's trying to buy, so they're trying to slow that shit down. They're already pushed up. So again, you got this gap on Nvidia right here. I don't know. We'll see what they do with that. Have I talked too long? 30 minutes. Wow. I can't believe it. What was I going to say? So yeah, fucking beautiful, bruh. Beautiful. And from here, I just draw it. If we're selling, let's just, again, this is all I'm seeing for the fucking rest of this. So the rest of these, days, So it's either gonna sell from up here, maybe here, who knows, or it doesn't. It just goes from where it is, and we just find ourselves here, and then we buy again. We'll see if it's maybe they want to tag this area. Who knows? But in my perfect world, I would like for it to just go up from here. If you're asking me, well, no, well, yeah. I mean, if it's a higher low here, and leave them alone, and then we keep pushing up. But because I'm still generally bullish. Okay, so I'm not saying I'm bearish, but coming down in here or not. So I gave you the example of it coming down in here, and then if it doesn't come any, and they don't mess with these guys, then you're obviously gonna want to, well, with the days, it might be transition days, it might be weak, and then roll over up. Where's this next daily candle? You might want to pop in a little bit lower into the wick of that we just created today's candle, and then keep that low, right? So this is, what is today? Today's Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Well, I'm assuming it's a bullish week, but I would like, in a perfect world, really. So I have to think out loud. So just so you know, I want to see a bearish day here, right? And then the next days pop up. In general speaking, right? So I gave the option of selling here or up here. And then if it doesn't go below, like I said, yeah. I don't know why I keep making this hard. So obviously higher high and higher low around the 8th, 9th. We'll see what happens there. Am I missing something? Am I missing something here? Always fucking missing something. Breakout level of the last month. We came back into that. I'm gonna leave that for a second. And then this breakout level here, notice how we blow through it because they're making decisions. They're trying to go above it and below it, and I'm going to delete that for now. It's not important. But yeah, I mean, for me, that's a perfect world. Speaker there. Get here, come outside the range, come above the range, and wipe out all this, right? This is my perfect world here, I guess. So am I missing something? I'm missing something. And we were, oh, well, yeah, I did miss something. This right here, this little swing here, 101.5. So this 101.5, meaning it's like, bearish, like for now. And then that 3.5 to 4, you got them together. You see that right there. And I drew that, right? Like I drew that. Pretty much drew that here, right? Pop up, not too high, and then come back in. Boom. So we're sitting right there. Yeah, so this makes sense for me. And then the only reason why I'm conflicted is the 5-year will push down harder, but the 30-year will do this. Like it'll do this. So it'll pop up, make a higher low here, and then pop up. All right. So now I made sure I said everything I wanted to say, because that's really what I was, that other logic here of it not taking on that low, and then we just do this and then we pop up. So is there anything else? You guys take care. God bless.